rock crusher was set up. They blew a blasted rock out of that pit there. We always called that the pit. I remember that. They dumped their tin cans, things like that. There's still some junk in there from that. But that rock crusher was set up right there. There's still a little wood frame and some cable there if you go down and look. That's where some of the buildings in the house. I was telling you, it was the cook shack. Grandpa built the basement to match the pit there. Grandma, they had a cabin right down this end. Grandma Mary Jane, she used to come up, spend a few weeks during the summer. They called that Grandma's cabin.
All right.
Right down there, that's the diversion dam. That puts the water into the irrigation canal I was telling you about, Jim. That's kind of the lifeblood of the valley.
Yeah.
It's Cuddy Mountain. There in the Cambridge is right up through there. You can see the railroad. It's a rail trail now, rails and trails, but that's where the railroad went up through. And of course, this was the original highway, 95. Somewhere in the picture, there's a picture of Dad standing on the top of that bridge. Yeah, he crossed the big bridge down here one time. He walked across, he went up and walked across the top.
Oh no!
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, before the cement bridge.
Yeah, that was the old iron bridge.
Yeah.
This new hay barn. It was built in 1970. About 50 years old. Got a corral here and a squeeze chute where we work the cattle. Dixie Creek comes up through here in Dixie Creek Flat. About 700. Well, it's kind of dry and desolate this time of year. It looks a lot greener than in the spring. Main hay ground is down here. It's still a little green. We got a first crop of hay off it. And the second crop came and we turned the cows into pasture. I think it's about 54 cows.
just the old school. He needs one of these.
This is the old hay barn. We call it the 3-generation hay barn. The middle part there was built as a chopped hay deal. It never had a roof on it. Grandpa Elbridge had built that. Your dad was here then. It was about to fall down when I was a kid. And Dad propped it back up, put it on the left side, put a roof on it. And then I put on the other side here. So anyway, three generations of
Oh, darn.
that barn.
How do you keep your water so they can drink during the...
I'll take it out and show you that.
Oh, cool.
We're gonna have a nice sunset.
Oh, there they are. She's full of there.
When did you get that?
Oh, I just had that about 5 or 6 years. There's another spring here. Never really kept up with the cows, but the solar deal that went out. It's worked well.
That's awesome.
Always had rattlesnakes back here. I don't think they're quite as bad as they used to be, but Craig, he was always fascinated with those rattles.
Yeah. Yeah, he tickled that one and gave it to the teacher. It was in a mason jar. Oh boy. By the time I got to 3rd grade, she pulled it out and brought it around so every kid could see it. Oh, yeah, I said my brother got that one.
Natural spring here just runs out of the side here.
Oh, cool.
Wow, that's awesome.
But it wouldn't quite keep up with the cows before I put this other one in. And the water you see here is coming out of this springy spot. It's not, other than that, the creek's dry. You go on either side of it, you can see no water. This is where your dad always wanted to put a little trailer over in here.
It's a beautiful spot. It's a spot.
I always thought after I thought about him, I put this solar deal. He'd hooked into that, have solar power. Another springy spot right in there where the cister's at. I've got a float in there. They drank it down. The sun's down, so it's not running. But as soon as the sun's up in the morning, it'll kick in, and that float it'll stop there.
That's amazing.
But yeah, that's been a big help ever since I put that in. There's several years ago I got more cows, and I'd have to haul water over here to keep up with them. But this has worked out pretty good.
Oh, right on. No, what I was asking was how do you keep it unthawed in the wintertime?
Oh,
You got to come out and break it open every day?
Sometimes. I've actually got that set now with an overflow. And the water's relatively warm coming out of the spring.
Oh, it's like a hot spring.
It's not exactly that hot, but it's still warmer coming out of the ground. I've got an overflow there. And so it'll come up and start over at the float. It'll freeze up in the winter. And yeah, I do have to come over sometimes to break the ice. I keep a shovel there. But it usually isn't too bad. It's surprisingly, you get down about 0, and you'll get maybe that much. At 30 degrees freezing, it's usually just a skim.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the last winter we were down double digits below.
Are you still up there around the Tri-Cities?
Yeah.
dock
like a
formation.
cow.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a hole in it.
I know, it looks like a cow standing on top of it.
Yeah, yeah. I always thought the head kind of looked like a camel, but yeah, cow or a calf or.
Well, I thought it was a cow at first. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting. I guess I should tell it, but the boys, your dad and Claude and Wally, yeah, that dates back to Grandma's brothers. They called that Woman Rock. Yeah, it looks like some kind of an animal standing there.
Yeah, it does.
I climbed up on top of it years ago when I was young enough to do it.
Oh my gosh.
Got a picture of me standing up on top of it.
Wow.
And, we killed a lot of deer back in here. Yeah, we quit counting to 30. We killed over 30 deer within a mile of the house here.
Oh, wow.
Yours still come around?
Yeah, yeah.
You have good eating down here?
Well, like I say, we've always well, Steve, they get Grandma on deer tag.
Oh, sure.
Dad went up right over the hole there and shot 4 deer.
Grandma, yours was the biggest.
I have no idea.
Keeps you going. You just go out and do it. Yeah, that's just like beating cows. Cows gotta be fed. So.
I remember your dad sending the hound dog out there to go get the cows that one day.
Yeah, Bingo. He a pretty smart dog. Just send him.
Little black and had some white on it. Yeah, yeah.
Got another spring down there where that tire is. Just a natural spring.
Oh, cell towers right there. So you got good reception.
There are springs. Yeah, springs.
Oreo, you are cute. Oh, you're so cute, Oreo.
Now he looks like a Holstein, but he's not announced a Holstein. That's his mother down there. I named her after my daughter-in-law, Annie.
Hey, Oreo. Hi, sweetie. Hi there. Yeah, you think you're going to get a treat, don't you? Yeah. Not fun at all.
Well, looks like his mama.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's for the calves, it's about 100. Most of the cows have a cap on, the spring cap.
You ever got to pull them out?
Yeah.
Oh,
Deliver the calves. They come backwards sometimes.
Me and my brother-in-law, we had to do that one time.
Yeah, I pulled a few calves.
Finally, yeah, she was down on the ground finally. She got on there, the hoof was, one hoof was coming out, the other one was folded over. We had to reach in and tie the rope around the feet. And we both of us just pulling as hard as we could.
Yeah, they make special calf pullers. I found they got some canes, little hooks. I found a pretty good trick. Take some baling string and you put it around your hip, your butt.
Yeah.
You get some leverage and you get rear back.
Yeah, well, her water broke earlier, and she was getting pretty fried up by then. It took both of us with some rope on there to yard her out, or yard him out. He was Black Angus, or we called him Big Sunday. Boy, he tasted good the next year.
I guess there's nothing like playing with food. I learned that when we went to China. And there's all these kids that had dogs. They were puppies. And I'm going to drive Wow. This is beautiful.
And right here is where the other house was. It was right in here. There's rocks. I think they used a kind of the part of the foundation. There was an old cellar, root cellar for storing produce. And Ethel and Wilma, they were toddlers. Ethel just barely, I don't know, for Wilma, about a year old. And I think Grandma was pregnant with Bob.
Oh, with my dad.
And they were, anyway, this house is where they lived. And it's where my grandpa had lived with his first wife, Annie, too, where
okay.
Agnes and Delbert and June had been here originally. Anyway, that house burnt down when she was pregnant, I believe, with your dad. And there was Ethel, she could remember it. She's probably about 2.5, 3 years old. She could remember them taking her out, and they had an old, what was left of a haystack. It was, I think, it's spring of the year. And she could remember sitting on that haystack, or what was left of it, and they put some quilts out and watching the house burn. There's a picture of Wilma and Ethel sitting on an old car, I think was taken about here. There's another picture you can look at. You can see right through there on Dixie Creek. And the hillsides there was taken from here. Aunt Lois, she was asking me about the house, that house. She thought it was back farther, but this is where the house was at.
Wow. So it was on this part of the property.
And this was the piece that belonged to Bertha and Johnny Ader. Bertha was our grandfather's oldest sister. And he traded his 40 irrigated acres for the 160 dry land out here.
Oh.
And so that was this corner. And then the Gallahans were down on the other side where we were at, where our house is at. And Grandma and Grandpa got together somehow there. Some different things happened here. They, before the dams came in, salmon and steelhead would come up these little streams.
Wow.
Really?
And Grandpa, Elbridge, he was down here, noticed a salmon, Chinook salmon on the ripples there in Dixie Creek, and flipped that out with a pitchfork.
Oh, wow. That was good eating, maybe, if it wasn't too old.
And that was, they call that Stagecoach Road. That goes on over into what was Slubria, which is the biggest town up here in the early days.
And it just goes to a house now?
Well, it goes up and over the hill. And this is kind of how the covered wagon would come into the valley. At least according to Ethel, they came down the Dixie grade. They would have come into the valley and then cut across into Midvale. But
so is that the end of your property here?
yeah, this is kind of defines our property on this corner, the road and fence line. Then there's it goes up where you can see the cows up there. There's a fence line up there, and then it cuts down at where we were at the spring. That fence was the boundary there. It's kind of a big square sits in here.
What is that total there? Is it 600 acres?
About 700.
Oh, 7.
There was 480 that they had when I was growing up, and my wife and I bought another 240.
Oh.
They kind of fit into what Dad had, like a jigsaw puzzle.
What's this dip then, Alan? Is that just from like snow runoff?
Yeah, it's just kind of a drain deal. I think it's been coming here and kind of widened it here to try and help it drain off. There's pit counts on this side. They all have personalities.
Oh, yeah.
This one right here, 75. That's her calf there. She's kind of the matriarch of the herd. Kind of a busybody, always has a nose in what everybody else is doing. She's got kind of independent-minded.
So as she moves on, they all follow, huh?
Our property, the road goes over that hill you see over there, sand hill there. It's on that corner, and then the road heads the other way.
have any horses?
No, we don't. We kind of use the four-wheelers.
Yeah.
That's it. Dad, he never liked horses very much.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't remember any horses then either.
Of course, they had horses. They'd, especially the work horses, they had a team. Yeah, they usually had something to ride once they had a team. Big little trail down in here is falling apart. Oh, boat, cattle, and horses. House there in Midvale, where the homestead was. Maybe 30 kids in it, stayed with your grandmother. Yeah, and I just lived for years there I don't know much about. I know another story during that time frame. My grandpa was still a relatively young man, but he had really stove up with arthritis. He went up to town somewhere, Starkey Hot Springs. You ever go up there with Greg or swimming?
No.
They have to council. They kind of did a cure up there. They spent about a week. Punch in hot water. They kind of doused me up with whiskey too.
Yeah.
That's several things they did. But Aunt Juna could remember just thinking how old her dad was. And she got years later, he said, well, my God, he could have been in his late 20s.
Wow.
But I guess, yeah, I think he kind of helped.
Yeah, I remember Dad, he was saying that Grandpa, he always had a little bottle out in the barn.
Yeah, he had to take a little nip here and there.
For medicinal purposes.
This is what we call Thorn Springs. It used to be completely surrounded by trees. I don't know why, in particular they died out. It's one I want to develop again. There's an old cutoff road here, kind of cut through and it was kind of the shortcut to go to that house. My granddad, Elbridge, he said the first deer he ever saw was right here at these springs.
Huh.
There's an old house down by those trees. That was the Lemon place. Lester Lemon, he's growing up there. He was good friends with Grandpa and Grandma. Lester and Pearl. I was telling one of the stories yesterday about Lester. Grandpa Elbridge. Lester went up on Hip Mountain there to get wood for the winter. He took Bob, your dad, and my dad. Anyway, we stopped at Agnes' place. That's the oldest sister. And Delbert was working there. His car was there. And Grandpa knew Delbert had a lot of whiskey in the glove compartment. So they stopped to pick that up so they could take a little nip on the way it's cold.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, old Lester, he had more than a nip. Yeah, said he was really singing by the time they got up there. That's when your dad, he remembered that story. He always laughed about old Lester.
Did they get their wood?
Yeah, they got their wood. That boy Lester, he was pretty happy. now, but it was green this spring when the grass was fresh where we pastured the cows. This is right where I was telling you about coming up with Dad literally about an hour before he died. We sat here and talked about things and took him back to the house, and that's when things started to happen.
Yeah. That's cool. Memory Mountain, man. Oh, Memory Mountain. Back here.
What's that?
Memory Mountain. Where you sat with Dad?
Oh, yeah. We go up here. That's we always the highest place on the hill on the place. We always called it Pickett Hill.
Now you've done research on genealogy. I always heard we were related to General Pickett. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, we probably are. The story is three French Huguenots came to Virginia in the mid-1600s. One stayed there in Virginia, one went to North Carolina, one went to Massachusetts. We obviously, our bunch came out of North Carolina, which kind of, George Pickett's bunch stayed there in Virginia. So we all stemmed off from those three brothers.
Oh, so we're probably related to some of them that I've seen Pickett name in North Carolina.
Yeah, right. Rolling County. Probably, virtually, supposedly, most of the Picketts in the United States have probably come through that. Were French. The name was Piquet. Probably anglicized to Pickett. They went to the Netherlands and England. There's one of my tire springs here.
All right.
Surprisingly, puts out quite a bit of water. You got to see the stream of water coming down.
Yeah.
The cows come over here, 100 cows. They'll drink that dry in a half hour. But
So they just free range the whole area, huh?
yeah. They're not coming over here much now. They pretty much they go where the best feed's at.
Oh, sure.
Later this fall, we're going to have to come back here and chew on this though. If we get rains, that always makes a big difference. No, we don't. We just feed them hay in the winter, and they eat grass during the summer. Yeah, we are.
Now you produce enough hay to get them through the winter?
Yeah.
Cool. Or you just adjust your herd accordingly?
Yeah, that's how it works. Sell them. There's more ways to do that now. We just take to a sale yard, hog mill, buyers buy them, they take them to feedlots and finish. Time of day to be up here.
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful. We came up here and had an eclipse party for the total eclipse of the sun here 2 years ago. It has down in Midvale for that one.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, you saw it pretty well there. You know,
Yeah.
we were right here. We were 6 miles from the epicenter, exactly.
I wish I'd known that. We were hunting. We ended up in Long Branch, about 80 miles south of Pendleton.
Yeah, we should have. Should have called.
Yeah,
Should have
had no
called you,
idea.
had you come
Yeah.
over. It was a.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can kind of see the whole farm from here to get an idea. The road there, we're on the southern boundary of the place. Of course, that's Middle Valley, and it's green because of that irrigation canal.
Oh, sure.
Irrigation. The river goes right through that gap in the hills there. You got West Mountain, which is the east of us. I guess they named it from the Cascade side. And Cascade's literally just over the top there. As the crow flies, it's only about 30 miles, but it's 100 miles to get there by road. McCall, that's Council Mountain. McCall's up this way. That's Cuddy.
Is that part of the Cascade Range?
Well, it's we call it. It's called West Mountain.
We drove up there to Hit Mountain. Don't they ski up there?
They had a little ski resort up there years ago. Yeah, it's gone now, but
I remember a few things.
yeah, they put that in there in the late '60s there.
A little bit darker. I can crop it.
Manipulate it.
I can manipulate.
Yeah, this was like early mid '70s when we was out here, I think. Because I think Craig still had his sports car.
Yeah, he had that little red
Datsun.
Yeah, I remember. You know, another story I'll tell you about Kirk. Probably the only time I really got to kind of talk to Kirk, and we had a good talk. We had been about junior high. Craig brought him over. He had that little sports car, and he'd never been on any. He had no idea.
Yeah.
I took him in that hill there. It's a volcanic knoll there. Almost looks like a little volcano.
Yeah.
There's a cave there, and I took him up to that. We sat there, and I remember it was in the evening, about 6 o'clock or so. And I remember we sat there in the front of that cave, and looking down on the river, and we just talked, and we just had a good talk for a couple of junior high kids.
Fun.
And he told me, said, you know, he really kind of thanked me. Said, I've never done anything like this.
Yeah.
And I've always
He was
remembered.
a city boy.
Yeah, but I've always stuck in my mind. It was really the only time I really got to talk to him, and he was about my age. But yeah, this is Pickett Hill. Oh, here I tell you some stories here. There's just stories.
So must have eroded. I heard it as Pickett Mountain.
Yeah. There used to be an old brick house over there, right down here below us. About where the big tree is and up this way, there was a house in there, and that was the Colson place. And Grandma, when she was a girl, about 10 years old, she came over to help Mrs. Colson. Now, Mr. Colson had gone somewhere, and they had a few cows and chores to do. And it was so hot in the summer, they just had a bed outside. They slept in, and anyway, the dog chased a skunk under their bed.
No.
Anyway, they pulled the covers over. And anyway, that's one of the stories that happened right down there.
Oh, wow.
That wouldn't smell good.
Yeah, I remember Dad, he'd say, he loved it over here.
Yeah, he.
I was
I
like,
know.
my gosh, man,
I know. That's what
Dry.
I thought until now.
it's
I'm
dry,
like, look
you
at
know,
it.
but
It's gorgeous.
then I moved up Tri-Cities, and it's similar.
Yeah.
More mountains here, but I love it. Yeah. Well,
It's so
20 years of working in the rain and mud in Vancouver, you know, I just
Yeah. Well, we were always close. I mean, we're sitting right on the edge of the desert, in one sense, but we were always close to the mountains, and so it didn't take you
God's
long.
country.
You could be up into the evergreens and the lake country, and so it. Breen and I, the piece of land we bought, and it's kind of hard to see now in the dark, but there's a fence line comes up here, and it juts into what Dad had, like a piece of a jigsaw puzzle. It kind of goes
That's
up,
nice.
comes back, goes down, and so anyway, that corner there's the corner that Breen and I added on to the place, to bring it to 700 acres.
Turn around. Let me get a picture of you in the sunset.
Oh, see, another thing I can show you from about here, and probably hard for you to tell you exactly where it's at. You see some buildings down here directly below it. Yeah, you can see the greenery there. Hayfield, go, and then there's a hay shed. Do you see that kind of out there in the middle of the green?
Yeah.
Okay, come to the, go to the right, and then come this way a little bit, and that's where the Fairview Schoolhouse was.
Oh, okay.
And that's where our parents all walked to school. It was right there.
That wasn't too
So
far.
it wasn't.
No,
10
it was about a
miles
mile and a half.
away in 5 feet of snow.
Yeah, yeah, it was, as I'm sure that's what Bob told you.
Yeah, uphill both directions. Yeah.
5 feet of snow.
5 feet of snow, 10 miles away. Wasn't that right?
Oh, I heard 20 miles.
Or was it 20 miles? Okay.
Yeah, it was about a mile and a half. Sometimes they walked the ditch bank a little quicker, but a lot of stories there. It took place at, and Grandma, she went to the Fairview Schoolhouse too. Oh, let's see, what else can I see from here? You can see, oh, okay, there's a group of trees right there. Then go on down, there's another group of trees. There's where the light is. There's a car coming there. Then go a little to your left, there's another group of trees. Now that's the cemetery. That's where everybody's buried. I guess I'm supposed to go up there and meet people tomorrow if they want to, and we'll kind of look at some of the graves. But that's where everybody's buried.
That's under the ground.
Yeah, anyway, the ones that were here in the back. And there's another one. There's the Keithley Creek ones over that way too. There's a few of the cows over there.
Here's where my dad's buried.
She liked to go.
I don't know if you ever saw this, Keith.
What?
Did you ever go over there and see that?
The headstone? Yeah.
The one I had done?
Yeah.
You okay in the middle or you went down for
No, I'm good.
Quick, go, go, go!
I didn't realize there's that much history of this place.
Yeah, well, what thing I've always thought about it. 5 generations growing up here, including our grandmother's a little girl. So
I mean, it's like a little community out here.
basic training. He went to, I think, Fort Benning, Georgia.
Yeah.
Down there in the deep south. And then when they shipped out, they had the Pacific coast. He said they went through Utah. They were on the train there, and they came through some similar country. Then a rain, and boy, he could smell that sagebrush. I said, boy, I just almost wanted to hop off the train and go AWOL. crossing over into what Marina and I bought and have gone through right now.
Somebody coming down the hill over here, or is there a homestead up there?
There's a home.
Oh, I think it's a UFO. Watch the tree line for Bigfoot. Yeah, that'd be secluded up there.
Yeah, it's pretty. You take a road up there and it goes right by that.
Don't forget the milk on the way home. I mean, yeah, I've been out here before. We did, come up here a little bit.
But you never
That was
see the
it.
fastest.
No, we never drove back. Never been back that far before.
Yeah, me neither. I've never seen it.
Thank you, Alan.
Well, the house right there, Maureen and I got married. That's where we started out. In that
There's a
house.
house there?
Yeah, we burned it down here. Luxury house. We were young, loved, didn't care.
Yeah, that's right. Was that on the homestead or?
It was part of the other place. This is part that we bought.
That you
It was,
bought, okay.
Now, you see that little building down there? There's a well house. There was a house down there. That's where Aunt Lois was. And they leased that place for a few years. That's why they actually moved from the place up there down here for a few years, about a year. So they thought it was a better house, I guess. And anyway, Aunt Lois was born. Yeah, they never kept the lease. Moved back up to the main place.
That was great, Alan.
That
Thanks.
was amazing. Thank you.
Well,
Wow.
I can tell your dad, he always had strong feelings for all this. So.
You can see why.